Morgan here, recording a legendary cube draft for SeemsGoodMagic.com. We are in a single elimination queue, so you guys get to enjoy the full glory of whatever deck we happen to be drafting. It's probably going to be blue. It's probably going to have a bunch of signets in it, hopefully. And I'm never passing Cruel Ultimatum ever, so we'll see how it goes. We're just waiting for a couple more people to join the queue, so stay tuned. We are back. So we have a pretty easy choice here, I'd say. We're going to sort by color so that we can get a better impression of what's in the pack. Otherwise, you'll be left with like a bunch of weird random uncommons here that are just promos. So yeah, sorting by color really helps. Cruel Ultimatum is one of my favorite cards in the cube. Target opponent sacrifices a creature, discards 3 cards, then loses 5 life. You return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand, draw 3 cards, and then gain 5 life. It's a great way to just take control of the game, especially when your opponent has probably only played 1 or 2 creatures at that point and is not putting a lot of pressure on you. Cage Stun is pretty sweet. It's a mana doubler. Mana doublers are pretty good in this format. However, Cage Stun is less good than other ones like Mirari's Wake or Mana Reflection, just because it only doubles 1 color of mana. And it's also broken with the tap lands. If you tap a land, tap land for the color that you chose with Cage Stun, it won't actually produce double mana of that color. So yeah, pretty easily just picking up Cruel Ultimatum, and we have a plan now. Normally what you do is you pick up things like Talisman of Dominance, which are 2 mana artifacts that produce a mana, or in the case of Signets, that net you a mana because you have to pay 1 to activate their ability. Talisman of Dominance is great for us here because it fixes black and blue, and as you can see, Cruel Ultimatum is a little bit color heavy. Other cards in this pack that are sweet: Nomad Outpost, Beacon of Tomorrows, and Muddle the Mixture are all great, but yeah, we definitely just pick up a lot of talismans early, as many as possible. Here, there's Azorius Chancery and Sulphur Falls for mana fixing. Devour Flesh is a pretty sweet removal card. Lorthos is awesome, just in general, but specifically in decks like this. But Faraway is what we want to be taking here. Given that there's no actual acceleration, only fixing, I'm pretty happy to take a quality removal spell for early in the game. You can return target creature to its owner's hand and then have your opponent sacrifice a creature, or you can do one of them, usually just having your opponent sacrifice a creature. So yeah, we're pretty easily just taking the Faraway here. Well, there's a Signet. It's double off color, but it's still a Signet. There's also a Mortify, Graven Cairns, and a Marsh Flats here. And I think it might be better to take the Graven Cairns or the Marsh Flats, but like it's a pretty tough call. Double off color Signets are mana fixing still. Yeah, I think I just take the Signet here. Like, brown mana in general is good. There's a Spine of Ishsa that we're not really interested in playing. I think it's just a Sunken Hollow as another piece of mana fixing. Lightning Greaves is actually kind of insane, but there's also a Mizzix Mastery in this pack. Mizzix's Mastery is pretty sweet. It's 4 mana to exile a card that's an instant or sorcery in your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, copy it, and you may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. If you overload it, which costs 8 mana, you will do that for every instant or sorcery if you want in your deck. Or in your graveyard, rather. So, Mizzix Mastery, pretty cool with Cruel Ultimatum. And also, like, Faraway. Unfortunately, Faraway you can only cast 1/2 of it, but still pretty sweet. So there's a Sun Quan. Creatures you control have horsemanship. There's also a Chromatic Sphere, which is mana fixing in a manner. I'm just going to take Sun Quan. He is a quality finisher in that he's just a 4/4 unblockable guy that makes all of your other cards unblockable to creatures. Pretty good start. I'm very happy with it. The Selesnya Signet is a little iffy, and we will definitely be replacing it if we get better on-color signets, but you should not discount off-color signets, because they're also just mana fixing. And if we get a mana doubler like a Mirari's Wake, rather, we'll probably be wanting to play that. Here, I'm just going to take Shroom the Hegemon. Shroom can return Mindslaver, it can return dead signets, things that you sacrificed with Trading Post. Yeah, Shroom is one of my favorite cards in the set. Cage Unwield, Rescind, and Arcane Denial are just decent in this format. I wonder if we just want a Cage to Sun. I think I'd rather have one of these cards. Arcane Denial is great because it's just a hard counterspell, even if it is card disadvantage. And Rescind is fine in a format with bounce lands. I think I just take Arcane Denial. We're doing a lot of powerful things, so if our opponent is unable to do them, that's great for us. Muddle the Mixture can transmute to find like a Signet or an Arcane Denial, or it can just counter an instant or sorcery, which is pretty useful, so we'll take it. It is double blue, which is kind of awkward, but I don't think that'll be a problem. We will the Lorthos. Hopefully we will the Lightning Greaves too, but Lorthos is fantastic. He is a fat finisher, and that's really all you want in a creature in this format. I'm going to put this Shatter Gang Brothers in my sideboard. And this Toshiro Umezawa, I guess? Tromocratus is sweet. Whirl of the Hulkblade is what we're going to pick, though, because that card is annoying if your opponent plays it early enough. I wonder if anybody's pulled off the Brothers yet. I'm sure they have. There's, I'm sure, a lot of drafts of this set, but... Okay, no signets, which is the first thing I always establish. There's a Hana, Ship's Navigator, Kodama's Reach, Traumatic Visions. Flooded Strand is a pretty good one, but I think we just want Lavalanche. Lavalanche deals X damage to target creature or player and each creature he or she controls, which is a pretty good finisher on top of Cruel Ultimatum. So yeah, I'm gonna take it. Here, there is an Evolving Wilds. Hull Breach is pretty sweet. Forbidden Alchemy is great. Pure Simple is fine removal. This is kind of tough. Like, there's not anything that I'm, like, specifically inclined to pick. I think it's just Forbidden Alchemy because we do have, like, Mizzix's Mastery to put stuff that makes us want to put stuff in the graveyard, so I'm just going to take it. But that was a weird pick. Alright, here there is a Cascade Bluffs. There's a Godless Shrine. Rush of Knowledge is sweet. And Ghoul, Color Geese, and Beacon are both sweet. I'm just going to take the Cascade Bluffs here. We want triple red for Mizzix's Mastery, and triple, or double blue, double red for Cruel Ultimatum, and like triple blue for Lorthos. So Cascade Bluffs is just a fine card to have. Fine piece of fixing. Alrighty. So there's a Felwar Stone, which does count as a signet. There's also a Time Warp, which I kind of want to take over the Felwar Stone. Like, this card is pretty good. Oh, there's the second brother. But I kind of just want to take the Time Warp because it's sweet with Mizzix's Mastery. I mean, yeah. I can't pass Time Warp. Look at the flavor text. Let's do it again. Here, Silence the Believers is removal. Cinderglade is fixing for Lavalanche. Temple of Mastery is as well. I'm going to take the Silence the Believers, though. In this format, people are playing, like, big fatties. So we do want removal for them. And Silence the Believers is actually as good as it gets when it comes to removal. Here, not really interested in Daochan. Silumgar is sweet because it has hexproof, but that's about it. I think I just take the Hallowed Fountain or the Temple, and Hallowed Fountain is more likely to be useful, I think. So yeah, just taking the Hallowed Fountain. Oh, I didn't. Karlov is in this cube. I'm going to take the Temple of Epiphany here over Wear Tear. Wear Tear is a pretty good spell in this format because both artifacts and enchantments are pretty common, but I just want mana fixing. Here, I'm going to be taking the Into the Royal over Tragic Slip, Temur Battle Rage, which I don't know why I put that out. That's not really great for me. Over Tragic Slip, Golgari, Rot Farm, and Prairie Stream. Into the Royal is, again, a form of like removal or tempo that can be very good. In addition, if our opponent just casts like, I don't know, some big expensive mana rock or like a mana doubler, we can also just Into the Royal kicked it and set them back a lot. One thing that I do want out of this draft is a storage land, preferably the Molten Slag Heap, which you tap it for 1 colorless mana, or you can pay 1 and tap it to put a storage counter on it, or you can pay 1 colorless and remove X counters on it to put X mana of any combination of red and black into your mana pool, which is really great for fixing for Cruel Ultimatum and things like Lavalanche. And also makes great Strive for Silence the Believers. Alright, so here we have Hana, Ship's Navigator, which is a pretty sweet way to recur things like, again, Mindslaver or something for value, but since we already have Shroom, I'm just going to take Mountain Valley. We don't have any lands to fetch with it yet, but we can certainly consider picking those up next pack. Here there's a Hull Breach and a Rings of Brighthearth, and Rings of Brighthearth allows for a lot of shenanigans, but I think it's just Hull Breach in this case, because artifact and enchantment removal, again, like I said with Wear Tear, is at a premium, and I kind of want to have some, at least. I think I take Sword of the Chosen, because it's a hate draft from the aggro decks, not gonna lie. I'm gonna take Hide Seek and put it in my sideboard. It's fine if my opponent has something that I just can't deal with, but I doubt that's actually a thing. I'll take a Hell Vault, sure. I don't know if I'm actually gonna use it. You pay 7 mana to tap it to exile a creature you don't control, and when it's put in the graveyard from the battlefield, return all cards exiled with it to the battlefield under their owner's control. It'll be very flavorful if our opponent has like a Gristlebrand and an Apison, though. Yeah, so next pack we want more Signets, and we want like a mana doubler. Goal is Mirari's Wake, or actually Mana Reflection would be fine too, especially since we have Cascade Bluffs and a Signet, because these produce 4 mana. Gilded Lotus would be sweet as well. I love Gilded Lotus. Guess I'll take Temple of Plenty and a Dark Depths. Surprisingly, when you can't cheat Dark Depths' cost at all, it does not get picked very highly. We also would like things to fetch with Mountain Valley. Not sure if we're going to be playing the Temple of Plenty or not. It fixes both green and white, which is kind of nice, but we also have Selesnya Signet for that. Well, there's no Signet in this pack. Night's Whisper is sweet, but I think we just want like a Badlands at this point. Yeah, kind of a bummer that we don't see any mana acceleration. Silumgar's command is nice, but it doesn't have the utility of the other commands where you can cast it even if like your opponent isn't doing anything. Like this one, you have to do like 2 of the things, and like the destroy target planeswalker mode is usually kind of useless because there's 2 planeswalkers in this cube. Again, no signets in this pack. There is a Molten Slag Keep, which I was talking about earlier. It's great for mana development. However, there's also a Hero's Demise in the pack, which is just a great cheap removal spell. So I think I want to take that and hope to wheel one of these lands, or the Diabolic Tutor if I can't. Here we could take Sphere of the Suns, Urza's Rage even, which is great with Mizzix's Mastery. Yeah, I think I just take Sphere of the Suns. There's also a Prismatic Lens that I arguably could take as well. Sphere of the Suns, you can't use it right away, and it runs out. Prismatic Lens fixes your mana. Yeah, I think I just take the Prismatic Lens, I guess. So there's a Dimir Aqueduct here. There's a Basalt Monolith for the Rings of Brighthearth we passed, but we're not really playing a deck where we can make good use out of the infinite mana from Basalt Monolith. So I think I just want a Dimir Aqueduct. Would love to wheel like Crystal Ball or Fiery Faller or something, but yeah, we're just gonna take the Aqueduct. Here, I'm looking at Sabo, Repulse, or like potentially Tundra, but we already have so much like white fixing. There's an Ulamog, but I don't really have the mana acceleration for Ulamog. I'd like Sabo a lot more if she had, like, if I had a way to give her haste, like Swiftfoot Boots or Lightning Greaves. As it is, I do need more playables, so I think I'm just going to take the Repulse as a cheap way to interact with my opponent. It also cantrips, so that's really nice. Here, there is a Fire Diamond, which is a piece of acceleration. There's also a Thada, which I really like in this cube, but I have a couple of ways to interact with her, so I'm fine passing her in favor of the Fire Diamond. Savage Lands is mana fixing. It enters the battlefield tapped, and I have a lot of mana that enters the battlefield tapped right now, which is kind of awkward. Fiery Confluence is removal, but yeah, we're pretty happy just taking a Fire Diamond when we can get it. Here, I'm going to take Sorin's Vengeance, because this card is the nut. It deals 10 damage to target player, and you gain 10 life. It's only 7 mana, and great with Mizzix's Mastery. So, we're going to take it. Terrarion also would have been a nice pickup there. Mindslaver is sweet. I think we take that over the Moss Diamond, because we only have the green Lavalanche, and we can get it back with Shroom, so. Potential cuts, yeah, we're gonna cut the Hellbolt right now. I'm really glad we have Forbidden Alchemy, because oh my goodness. There's a Staff of Domination, which makes use of infinite mana, but I don't really want to take it. I'm just going to take the Dismantling Blow. This card's a reasonable removal spell for anything that your opponent is doing that they might have fun doing. So I'm not sure if it's main deck yet, but we'll see. Hull Breach is probably just better in the main deck. But drawing 2 cards is pretty good. We wheeled the Molten Slag Heap! We did it! Hooray! Alright, pretty happy wheeling Molten Slag Heap. It fixes for Cruel Ultimatum and Soren's Vengeance, and allows you to cast Mizzix's Mastery pretty easily with Overload. A lot of the times what a deck like this will do is just play a bunch of Signet cards and charge Molten Slag Heap in the early game, and that's it. So we have Urza's Rage here and a Simic Growth Chamber. Simic Growth Chamber is mana fixing, but Urza's Rage is a great way to interact with your opponent early, and it's a win condition late. So I think I'd just like to take the Urza's Rage. Here there's a Fiery Fall, which can count as removal. Muzio is pretty sweet. We do have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just 6 hits though, that's not a lot. Yeah, we'll take Fiery Fall, and we're gonna put it in the sideboard for now. Door to Nothingness might actually be a play here. Is it? No. I don't think so. Devouring Shadow Wield. Destroy target creature, it can't be regenerated, you lose life equal to that creature's toughness, is pretty sweet in this format. So do I want to main deck Hull Breach? That's an important question. I think the cut is Arcane Denial right now. Arcane Denial is great against opponents who might try and interact with your, like, Cruel Ultimatum or your Soren's Vengeance, but we already have Model Mixture to interact with them anyway. So that's a pretty reasonable cut. We do have a pretty high end. So I'm considering cutting one more card and running 18 lands. Is that something we want to do? Like cut Sunquan? I don't know how these cards get passed. Well, I mean, this one we first picked, but still. Yeah, we're gonna cut Sunquan right now. We have so much removal. Oh my goodness. This is fantastic. Alright, so we're gonna add some basics after adding all of our mana fixing, of course. Missing out on an opportunity to play the door, but I don't think we actually have a reliable way to produce 10 mana of any color. So let's see, we have how much blue mana? Not blue, not blue, not blue. So we have 5 blue sources, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red sources, 1, 2, 3, 4 black sources. Oh, 5 black sources. So we're pretty set on Grixis right now. I don't really want another white source, right? Yeah, we don't really need another white source. So do I add another green source? Like, that can't be right. I think we just add another green source so that this Mountain Valley isn't completely dead, like, really early on. Oh. Yeah, let's add a red source. I'm gonna say blue source. No. Yeah. No. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. So confused. having the mana fixing that we do and the prismatic lens that we do makes this deck pretty sweet. So we're gonna submit and hope that we get flooded, right? Am I right? I'll see you in round 1.